What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective, and I'm here for the news. Here today, we're going to be going over several clips. Some about President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. We're going to be going over a paleo artist who's bringing back the past, the faces of ancient animals, who they're telling you that are humans. We're also going to go over the suspect arrested in the New York daycare case where the fentanyl somehow got into the hands of the children and one child died and several others were sick. And Biden's dog, Commander, is biting the shit out of all the goddamn Secret Service agents. We're going to start off right here. Trump found liable for fraud in New York civil case. Now, anybody who watched this channel know that I've been covering this for a very long time. And in every one of those videos, I always said they have to do anything in their power to discredit Donald Trump because Donald Trump in the polls is kicking Biden's ass. Biden is a walking mistake at this point. He falls off stationary bikes. He fumbles over words. He calls people names that aren't their names. There's so many mistakes and gaffes that come from Joe Biden at this point. It's a major embarrassment. And in politics, you have two kinds of polls. You have external polls, the polls that we see on TV. Then they have internal polls, polls that they have that are a little bit more accurate and a little bit more precise. Now, external poll, you might be down 3 points. Internal poll, we might be up 1 point. We might be up at least 1 point. So there's still a margin for error. So we still might feel like we're in this race. The internal polls for Joe Biden and the Democrats is far worse than what they're leading on because the external polls are saying they're down 10 goddamn points. So all these indictments for Trump is coming because he has a legit chance of becoming president again, and Joe Biden has basically no chance. So they have to try to get as many charges on Donald Trump as possible. Does that mean that Donald Trump is innocent of all these charges? No, but he's a politician, and all these politicians pretty much do the same thing. If you dug into their emails, into their background, they all pretty much are the same guy. So all of these charges are being brought up because he's winning decisively in the internal polls. So let's take a look at this first clip.
It could severely impact his ability to make money in New York once he seeks a return to the White House next year. The judge said Trump and the other defendants dishonestly inflated the ex-president's net worth, the value of his properties, and other assets to suit their own business needs. In particular, the judge took issue with Trump lying about how big his penthouse was, claiming it was 30,000 square feet, nearly triple its actual size, resulting in an overvaluation of as much as $207 million.
Now, is that illegal? Yes, but do they usually charge these type of people on this level for this? Absolutely not. They get away with this shit all the time. The only reason they're going after Donald Trump for all of these ancillary things is because Donald Trump is blowing the Democrats away. And they don't really have nobody to run outside of Joe Biden. They don't have anybody with any energy. They don't have no youth enthusiasm. They don't have a wily old veteran that you can believe in. They really got nothing. They got nothing. So they're in a world of trouble. Look, it's not like you can just pull somebody out of the ground. Like Bill Parcells, you can't just dial 1-800, get a quarterback. They're basically playing with a third string quarterback with a bad leg, a bad back, and who's ready to retire.
As penalty, the judge stripped Trump of certificates that let some of his businesses operate in New York, including the Trump Organization. The Tuesday ruling is also a big victory for New York State Attorney General Letitia James,
And let me say this about Letitia James. This is another black face they've thrown out there. In the first indictment in New York, they had a black man by the name of Alvin Bragg. Now, Alvin Bragg is the top cop, district attorney in New York. Now, if you think Alvin Bragg, through his own validity, and he just took it upon himself to indict the president, you're out of your mind. Negroes we don't carry that type of power in the United States. That comes from the powerful liberals behind him. And the Senate and these major corporations are pushing that. Then you have the indictments that came out of Georgia by a lady by the name of Fannie Willis. Now, Fannie Willis is the same person who indicted Young Thug and the YSL and all that shit. Now, she has the authority to do that, but she does not have the authority to indict a former president. That comes from within the deep state. That comes from super liberals. That comes from a lot of other places. But as you can see, whether it's Alvin Bragg, whether it's Fannie Willis, or whether it's this black lady right here, all black faces who don't wield any real power. These are the faces that they put out there that's indicting and going after Donald Trump. And it's just totally disingenuous, and they do this shit all the time. When a cop illegally shoots somebody, they put a black captain out there. Man, he's the co-captain. He ain't even the main captain. Motherfucker, the co-captain. He the co-pilot of the goddamn plane. They throwing his face out there. They do it all the time.
Some of his businesses operate in New York, including the Trump Organization. The Tuesday ruling is also a big victory for New York State Attorney General Letitia James. Charges against Trump.
Filing a lawsuit against Donald Trump for violating the law as part of his efforts to generate profits for himself, his family, his company.
Tuesday's ruling makes it easier for James to establish damages at a trial set for October, which is also set to look at whether Trump and his children lied about his net worth to get better loans and insurance. Trump has filed a lawsuit against Judge Engoron. He's accused him and James of ignoring an appeals court order to narrow the case. The lawsuit aimed to delay the trial, arguing Engoron's action has made it impossible to prepare defense. Trump has blasted his fraud accusations as ridiculous and untrue in a post on his Truth Social platform. He accused Engoron as a deranged judge doing the bidding of James, a Democrat. Trump, who faces a slew of other litigation, has denied all wrongdoing and branded the cases a Democrat witch hunt against him.
And the more that they trying to tie Trump up in all these different litigations and, trying to throw anything they can to hope it sticks against the wall, he just grows more powerful because he's not going to jail. You're just giving him more publicity. And what do they say in the media? The media, all publicity is good publicity as long as they ain't putting your ass behind bars. So he already has a cult-like following. You just making him stronger and stronger. But I understand why the Democrats are doing this because they really have nowhere to turn. They basically got Old Yeller as a president. He's a sick and dying dog ready to be taken out back. He's a horse with a broke leg in the Westerns. You know what they do to the horse with the broke leg in the Westerns? He's finished. Well, let's take a look at this next Fox News clip. Trump dominates Biden and jaw-dropping new poll. Why would it be jaw-dropping? It's not jaw-dropping. He's never been ahead of Trump in the polls. And I'm alleged he really didn't even beat him in the last election. That's alleged. And I'm apolitical. I like to tell people I'm apolitical. I'm not on this side or that side, but I'm apolitical. And I'm just being honest for what I seen. It looked like a bunch of chicanery and tomfoolery and something was rotten in Denmark with that cold situation and that whole election. Let's take a look.
It came out on early Sunday morning. Donald Trump is currently leading Joe Biden, the incumbent president, by 10% when they go head to head. This was such a...
And the reason why they're using the word jaw-dropping, because for a Republican to be up by 10 whole points is mind-blowing. It's like a team who's supposed to be a 25-point underdog, a 30-point underdog, up 10 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You're like, how the hell with the ball? You're like, what the hell? This is, yeah. But it's not jaw-dropping when it comes to the terms of Donald Trump is just a far better candidate than Joe Biden is. But for a Republican to be this far ahead is not normal.
Jaw-dropping result. Washington Post immediately in the body of the story where they talk about how Trump is beating Biden had to explain, hey, we don't think this is accurate per se. It's probably an outlier.
Right, because all the other polls have been much closer than that. When this came out over the weekend, we were all like, what? 10 points ahead?
What?
In that poll, it says 62% of Democrat-leaning voters said the Democratic Party should choose a different candidate. 56% said they disapprove of the way Biden is handling the job. 64% disapprove of how he's handling the economy. And now there's this...
So this is not new to the Democrats. They already knew this. But the poll has come out publicly now. But they've been new. Like I said, the internal polls have been telling them. This is why they told Biden 6, 7, 8 months ago they did not want him to run again. But they don't have anybody else with any energy, with even a hope or a prayer of actually beating Donald Trump. Who could you pull out? Because people are sick of super liberalism. It goes too far. They don't know how to reel it in anymore. In everything they do, it contradicts themselves. So even the people who are super liberals, they come out and do and say things that goes against what they supposed to be their own beliefs are. So the thing is, it's like it's something that has gotten completely out of control for them, and they don't know how to reel it back in.
Progressive group called Progressive Now, this liberal group, they're going to spend $70 million to make Biden cooler, to make him appeal to the young people, like through memes and...
Might take more than 70 million.
Right?
Yeah, that's all I had.
They're testing different messages.
In that same poll, Ainsley, that you were just citing, it said that 15%, he only had 50% support of minority.
Making Biden cooler is the equivalent of taking a kid with Down syndrome, a man with Down syndrome, and turning him into a pimp, player, and a hustler. A slick talking, natural charm and charisma guy. That's just impossible, man. You're not gonna turn no man where dementia is setting in and turn him into being cooler. Because once he starts talking, he's gonna get the fumbling and mumbling. But what they say, they're gonna try to use social media to try to help him, with memes and all that. But I mean, all they're gonna do, the other side is gonna use all the memes against them, and then they're gonna show you the real. So I don't know. But they got to try something.
And the New York Times is telling and warning the Democrats. They say running on democracy and abortion is not going to have any impact on Black and Hispanic voters because they are living paycheck to paycheck. So that tells you this whole election is going to be about the economy.
Well, and Lawrence, even in your group, ages 18 to 39, that 59% of them disapprove of Joe Biden.
Because they're struggling.
So what's very funny is Martha Raddatz, the last time we saw Martha Raddatz this upset, Donald Trump won an election, she actually cried. She was hosting the show, and she was like, this can't be happening. So quickly they said, well, 538, I'm sorry our poll is terrible, but if you go back to May, they had another poll, Donald Trump was winning by 7. So maybe they should fire their pollsters until Joe Biden wins one of them. They did say 538, which is a poll separate from ABC, only had Donald Trump winning by 2. So then when you go down, you wonder, what makes you so upset that Donald Trump's winning by 10? Does it make any sense? Yes, it makes sense. Look at the rest of the poll. When asked, are you better off today than you were before Joe Biden took office? Only 15% said yes. And that is well off 44%, about the same 39%.
Donald Trump ran the United States like what it truly is, which is a corporation. It was incorporated in 1871. So the thing is, people don't realize the United States is not a country, it's not a democracy, it's a corporation. So when you have a corporation, you run things a particular way. When you run in a country, you run it a totally different way. But United States is a corporation. So Donald Trump ran it like a corporation. He ran it like a real boss would. He was telling when people weren't doing a good job, that's a terrible job. When the deal was a bad deal with China, that's a terrible deal. When the deal was bad with the Europeans and the EU, hey man, we're not doing that no more. That's out. So he was running things like a real corporation, like you're supposed to. That's why the money started flowing. When Donald Trump was in office, the money was moving. They had to literally throw COVID on us, allegedly throw COVID on us, to slow down the momentum. He was breaking every financial record known in the United States over the last 50 years. It was unbelievable to watch.
Only 12% approve of his energy and gas policies. 23% approve of his immigration. Who are those 23? And overall, his approval is 37%. This all adds up to that. And listen, the poll is an outlier. Every element of this poll, which I think would find most disturbing, is it goes separate from what the media is telling you.
Right.
It goes separate from what everyone else is telling you. They just look past us and say, I got a huge problem with the guy who can't find his way on and off the stage and can't finish a sentence.
Maybe what the Washington Post is trying to do, they're trying to give him a little nudge. Hey, Joe, you're too old.
That's what I was thinking at first, but then I thought after they came out and said, no, this is just an outlier,
Well, they gotta
maybe
say
they got a lot of pushback.
They gotta say that.
Yeah.
Could they just text the
Well, the reason they have to say that because they don't have anybody else to run.
We'll push backs. I'm Steve Ducey.
You know. But the moral of that story is that, hey, the external polls, Donald Trump is probably up 15 points. And it's probably far worse. And Joe Biden's numbers are fucking going the wrong way, and they've been going the wrong way steadily and progressively. But let's take a look at this next clip. What to watch in the second Republican debate. Now, this Republican debate is basically, I wouldn't say a waste of time, but it's only practice for people who trying to run for president after Donald Trump is done. After he runs, if he's able to, make it through all these landmines and hiccups and hurdles that the Democrats have put in front of him, and he actually becomes president again. After this, there's a lot of young up-and-coming candidates in the Republican Party who are vying for position right now. But if something do happen with Donald Trump, somebody will be laying in the weeds right there waiting to pounce. So let's take a look at this next clip.
I'm standing outside the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California. Simi Valley is located about 45 minutes north of Los Angeles. This is the site of Wednesday night's second Republican debate. That will feature 7 candidates, everyone from a former vice president, actually Mike Pence just walked past us a couple minutes ago, a current senator, current and former governors, and an entrepreneur. But the one person who won't be present will be the man who is leading in all the Republican polls, and that is former President Donald Trump. He is choosing to go to Detroit, Michigan. We'll bring you all the latest from the debate and from the Reagan Library. Why the Reagan Library? Well, Reagan was the 40th president of the United States, still an icon among Republicans for his conservative views. And what you see behind me is the stealth fighter. The stealth fighters made their maiden flights during the Reagan administration.
And, this next debate for them is, if you're really into politics, it's something to watch because, like I said, it's like for the future. You're looking down the road. But just in case something happened with Donald Trump, who can take the lead in this? So, some people say it's a waste of time, shouldn't be watching it. But, if you're really into politics, it's something to, keep your eye on. You never know who the future candidate can be. They do have the, I can't think of the man's name, but I think the guy's from India, but he's running. What's that man's name? I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but yeah, he's running. He's looked like he's gaining a little momentum in the Republican Party, but once again, he's a person of color, and that's going to be very difficult for him when push comes to shove. Let's take a look at this next clip. Paleo artist brings back faces from ancient past. Now, let me tell you this. These type of people believe in evolution. Do I believe in evolution? Absolutely not. 99% of all living things that have ever been on the earth have went extinct. Things go extinct for a reason. God pushes one thing out so another thing can make a way. My partner Jay can vouch for this. I made a video one time. They was talking about bringing back the woolly mammoth. I said, where in the hell are you going to put the woolly mammoth? God made sure the woolly mammoth wasn't here no more so other animals can thrive in its place. Over and over and over again, they have old ass animals, or what you would call monkeys, and then say that there were early humans. No, they were not early humans. No, they were not. They were just another species of apes. Period, point blank. And people believe in evolution because things are not evolving, they're devolving. How do we know that? Because at one time on Earth, everything was bigger. Everything lived longer. Via the Bible tell you that. Methuselah, people lived to be 900 years old. We know that there were dinosaurs that was 40 feet tall. We know that there was mosquitoes that was 2 feet long. That we know all we had was dragonflies that was 5 feet long. Everything was bigger. So it's not evolving, It's devolving. Things used to live longer, now they're living shorter. So all of these monkeys and apes that they tell you was humans, they were not humans. They were just different species of apes, just like we have today. And if evolution was true, why is nothing evolving right now? Why is there not at least one species of monkeys, orangutans, chimpanzees, gorilla? Why ain't none of them all of a sudden can surf? Why ain't none of them all of a sudden can drive a goddamn Buick LeSabre? Why can't none of them motherfuckers all of a sudden win a spelling bee? Because they're not evolving. God makes these animals, and when it's time to go extinct, they go extinct. Let's take a look at the clip.
If I'm going to be the conduit for people visualizing these creatures as living, breathing beings, I have to get it right. So this is a Neanderthal from a site called Shanidar in what is now Iraq, and discovered in the 50s, I think. And it really changed the way, started changing the way we think about Neanderthals. And of course, the caveman image is very difficult to...
And they say this was a Neanderthal, right? A caveman. We know that the caveman is nothing but the white man. Black people never came from caves. We never lived in caves like they are portraying this. Yes, there was like a race of what you would call Neanderthal type men, which were white men, hairy, woolly men who ran wild in the woods of Europe and came out of the Caucasus Mountains. That's a fact. But this whole thing, how they paint this, is baloney. But let's continue to listen to this.
Get rid of for some reason. And probably the last 10 headlines you've read about Neanderthals is that they weren't as stupid as we thought. It takes me...
And he said the Neanderthal wasn't as stupid as they thought. You know why he's saying that now? Because look, when they start looking into this shit, they realize these is our forefathers. All of a sudden, you know what? Them Neanderthals was actually a little smarter than what you thought they were. They really wasn't that dumb. Yeah, he might have ate his own fleas out of his forearm hair, but he actually took the flea and then he actually did something and designed a wingsuit. Start making shit up.
2 months of building structures over a cast of the skull just to come up with the face, and then I have to mold it and cast it, of course. But
that looked like his grandfather.
Building every muscle, every fat body or gland in the face, and I have to work out the likely dimensions of all of that. I definitely have to be very much an artist and very much a scientist when I work on this kind of project. And I have to basically switch heads when I'm working. I have to make sure that I'm paying attention to aesthetic concerns, things like facial expression and that sort of thing. And I also have to make sure I'm
and you see that? They took a monkey skull and then make you think that this monkey was a human because the one monkey had arms and he had legs. But it's just a different species of monkeys. I mean a monkey. An ancient species of monkey. And they died off. They were never human. Because they banged a rock on top of a peanut. All of a sudden, these was this genius. Nah. Just a monkey, man. An ancient monkey. That's it.
True to the science that I've been able to turn up in my training and also in my early years of my art career, I was doing a lot of paleontology-focused art in a certain general way, but my first love was always human evolution, because I think of the evolution of humans on Earth as one of the most remarkable points in the history of life.
You know, evolution is theoretical. That's a hypothesis. It's like the Big Bang theory. It's just a theory. There's a lot of holes that's poked in it. And when you ask those people that, they don't want to explain it. They want to tell you a one-sided story with no pushback. Evolution, in my opinion, is just a complete sham. Let's take a look at this next clip. Suspect arrested in New York daycare case linked to fentanyl death. Now, this guy went on the run. Now, his wife and another male who was part of this drug operation ring was actually arrested. He went on the run. Let's take a look at this clip.
We turn now to a major arrest in the case of that New York City daycare where a 1-year-old boy died and other children got sick after being exposed to fentanyl. Laura Jarrett is here. Laura, the suspect's been on the run for a while now.
Yes, Lester, and now authorities are saying where exactly they found him. The husband of that daycare owner, accused of using it as a stash house, essentially for fentanyl, well, he was apprehended by authorities in Mexico. Law enforcement sources tell NBC News. Now, prosecutors say the wife, Ray Mendez, you see there, well, she discovered the babies in her care were unresponsive, poisoned by fentanyl earlier this month, but instead of calling 911 right away, prosecutors say she called her husband. You see him there. He was caught on surveillance footage dashing out a back alley with bags in his hand.
On the surveillance footage, you wonder, was that just a camera that was there, or were they already under surveillance by the FBI? 9 times out of 10, they were already under surveillance. And the only reason they moved in because of this case, because sometimes they watch these people for years and they let them operate and make money and do certain, and then they let them pile up so much money to where they say it's time to go in, you know. But a lot of these times, these people, they're not getting away with shit like they think they are. They're really not.
Daycare in the Bronx, a disturbing scene with investigators finding a kilo of fentanyl on the baby's play mats, even a trap floor with drugs in that play area. This suspect, who's been now caught, likely to face similar criminal charges as the others allegedly involved, who have all so far pled not guilty in court, Lester.
All right, Laura, thanks for following up for us. Thanks, everyone.
You know, that's good they caught his ass. Like I said, all of them, and you throw the book at them, drop the kitchen sink right on top of their head. But it is what it is, you know. We stay in a wicked world with wicked people who do wicked things. Take a look at this next case. Urgent manhunt underway for suspect murder of Baltimore. What was this lady? Baltimore Tech CEO, Pavel Lapierre. Now, anytime I see a tech CEO die, just like the one in San Francisco, I'm always highly suspicious. Sometimes it can just be a complete random act. I always tell people I can leave room to be wrong. But, you know, when these tech CEOs die, you can have a lot of jealousy. You have a lot of, you know, people who want your spot. A lot of people who want the same, you know, the same level of, I don't want to say respect, but the same level of money that they might be receiving, or investment. That's the same type of investment that somebody else might be trying to get, they end up getting. So there'll be a lot of jealousy, a lot of petty stuff going on, because we talk about major money, and death ain't usually too far if you start making it up in the world too fast for a young lady like this lady. Let's take a look at this clip.
Manhunt in Baltimore. A 26-year-old tech CEO found murdered. Now police say they are conducting an all-out search for a suspect considered armed and dangerous. Here's Emily Aketa.
Tonight, an urgent manhunt for an armed and dangerous man who police say killed a 26-year-old tech CEO.
This individual will kill and he will rape. He will do anything he can to cause harm.
Police imploring people in Baltimore to be careful, with 32-year-old Jason Billingsley on the run, directing this message to the suspected killer.
Every single police officer in Baltimore City, the state of Maryland, as well as the U.S. Marshals are looking for you. We will find you.
He's accused.
I always say, will they find these people? Absolutely. They will find him, dead or alive, but he will be found. He will be caught. Did he do this? I have no idea. I'm assuming they feel like they have enough evidence to point right at him. They might have them camera somewhere and seen his face, but you know, like I said, is there some chicanery, maybe some foul play? This is a tech CEO. Anytime you talk about tech CEOs, somewhere it always goes into the hundreds of millions, sometimes to the billions of dollars that are being moved around. You just never know.
Forbes 30 under 30 honoree Pavel Lapierre.
Apollo CEO and founder of EcoMap Technologies.
A Baltimore-based company Lapierre founded while a student at Johns Hopkins University. On Monday, Baltimore police found the 26-year-old dead in an apartment with signs of blunt force trauma shortly after she was reported missing. They do not believe Lapierre knew her killer. Friends say she lived above EcoMap's office. Her death, a total shock to co-workers.
Now, this I did. I covered a case last week of two black young ladies who were killed in their apartment. And I didn't hear the police the same energy. And I did say in the case that it could be they have evidence or, I mean, like, a lead. But even at that, why the police ain't come out saying under any circumstance, this guy will not get away. We will catch this person. We are on the trail. We are doing everything. We didn't hear nothing from them people. All we seen was two black mamas crying. Oh Lord, Jesus, why my baby? But this lady, they want to find this man. They gonna hunt him down. They gonna get him. He will rape. He will murder. We gonna catch him. We gonna have everybody that we can, the marshals, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, looking for this man.
Map calling her a visionary. Writing today, the circumstances surrounding Papa's death are deeply distressing.
This is a homicide investigation. How do you even begin to make sense of that? This 26-year-old rising star in the tech industry.
You don't. There's no sense to be made of it.
Venture capitalist and mentor Matt Conwell helped LePaire secure funding when she first started her company.
Holly was that person who was always smiling, always optimistic.
Like you said, like I just said, he helped her secure funding. And that funding, man, these ain't nickels and dimes, man. It'd be big money.
Always looking to help others.
Billingsley has a lengthy rap sheet, including sex offense, assault, and robbery convictions. He was released on parole last fall.
Thanks for watching.
And out of all the people, usually Negroes like this, they don't go and kill tech CEOs. That ain't suspicious to y'all? That's highly suspicious to me. And a nigga like this who's a low-life criminal, they ain't aiming for tech CEOs. He ain't breaking in apartments of tech CEOs. Like I said, I could be wrong. Maybe it was some random, but I just don't believe. It's hard to get me to believe that type of shit. It really is. Let's take a look at this next case. Biden's dog Commander bites Secret Service agent again. My question is, if Commander done chomped on your ass one time, why would you go next to Commander again? I don't want Commander nowhere near around me. They say, who is that dog in there? Yeah, I'm not going in there. That dog beat the shit out of me last time. Next time I'm gonna pop him right in his ass. So it looks like Biden's dog got free will to bite anybody he wants to bite. Commander's on the loose, so you better watch out. Let's take a look at the clip. Let's read. President Biden's nearly 2-year-old German Shepherd Commander bit another Secret Service agent on September 25th. Ah, damn. Marking the 11th incident that the dog lunged or bit, leaving some officers with punctures and bruises, even forcing one to go to the hospital. What are they raising this dog on? Gunpowder and Tabasco. Ain't no German Shepherd this goddamn aggressive. German Shepherds wasn't this aggressive during the civil rights movement in the 60s. This is unbelievable. USSS Chief of Communications Anthony Giuliani told CNN in a statement the officer was treated by medical personnel on the complex. Commander ain't showing no mercy. The remarkable spat of incidents involving Commander follow a similar shocking series of attacks involving former first dog Major. So Major and Commander, they listen. Whatever they doing to these dogs, this is not by accident or by happenstance. You gotta raise these dogs to be this aggressive. Ain't no till they might be having some kind of sexual relation. I don't want to allege those type of things, but goddamn it, with Biden and his family, you just never know. They are a group of sickos. Your son is smoking crack. The daddy is alleged a pedophile. What are they doing with these dogs? Major was biting on motherfuckers. Now after Major is gone, Commander's chomping on motherfuckers. Man, the chances of that happening, the mathematical probabilities are so low of that happening from two different dogs, let you know that they're training, they're doing something behind the scenes where these dogs are fucking biting people. who the White House says was given to family friends after a series of attacks in 2021, including Biden, aged 8 days. So Major was given to family. Now, number one, if I'm a family friend, I don't want this motherfucker. He's biting no motherfucking special agents. Now, he bit a motherfucker 8 days in a row. Oh, these people are sick. They watching this on camera and laughing. They orchestrating this shit, biting those people. If you do anything they don't like, all of a sudden, you got to watch Major. And Major was a major pain in the ass because he was chomping on people left and right. 8 days in a row. What kind of sadistic shit is going on in the White House? Unbelievable. That's crazy. Let's take a look at this. NASA here recently landed, supposedly landed on an asteroid. Do I believe they landed on an asteroid? Maybe. Do I? No, I don't believe it. That could have happened, yes. Do I believe it? I just don't. I don't believe it. Where is the 4K camera footage? Where is the videos? This is one of the most one of the most fantastic things, monumentous things that ever happened in the history of NASA. You landed on something that's a small ass rock deep out in space while it's moving thousands of miles an hour, and you collected up dust and samples from this asteroid, and it comes all the way back to Earth. Where is the real footage? That's what I want to know. We got too much camera technology now to try to sell me some bullshit. Let's take a look at this clip.
Physics departments on college campuses.
And look, when they show you this is CGI. This is not even the real footage. Where is the real footage? How do you know? How do I know that's CGI? Because they're showing you a video of the actual satellite from behind. Where's the goddamn video at?
At the just completed NASA mission that collected samples of a near-Earth asteroid.
The spacecraft carrying the samples landed in the Utah desert on Sunday. The cosmic payload.
Hey, listen to me.
Researchers knew it.
Everything you seen in that photograph or in that video was all CGI. None of that was actual footage. None of it. Why?
Insights into how our solar system formed, and maybe even the origin of life on Earth.
And Governor Barry Groten has reaction from Augustana University about the project's impact in the classroom.
Augustana's physics department calls the OSIRIS-REx mission to an asteroid and back nothing short of mind-boggling.
I don't know if I can describe just how difficult it is to land on a moving body like that. That's so small.
Yeah.
The force of gravity from that thing is nothing compared to the force of gravity on Earth. So it's
Of course not. So where's the video?
Stay there, you sort of balance.
The space capsule launched back in
Once again, it's not like you have a camera on the asteroid to record this. This is CGI. This is just some shit they made to show you what it could have looked like. These people are some real demons. Boy, they expect you to believe anything.
2016 and traveled billions of miles before returning to Earth over the weekend. It's a lesson to students about the painstaking patience required when doing science.
When you stop and think about that, the students that are at Augustana, they would have been in middle school or even elementary school, most of them, when we launched this mission, and we're only now getting the data back from it now.
Just something as simple as that can take years to get there and come back. Like, I can't even imagine what else is out there.
The OSIRIS-REx mission is expected to be a topic of conversations inside of Augie classrooms and serve as a kind of launching pad for interest in the field of astronomy.
Astronomy is definitely something that I'm interested in, and it's definitely nice to know that there are a lot of future projects that might be coming up, or there's still a lot to learn that I can go into.
Space dust from an asteroid, sprinkling the imaginations of young minds about the potential of science far beyond the confines of the classroom. In Sioux Falls, Barry Groten, Caroline Neighbors.
Well, the reason I don't believe this is because A lot of shit be about money. They spend billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to get some dust. And they tell you that's gonna let you know how life formed on Earth. Get the fuck out of here. I can tell you that without you ever spending billions of dollars to collect dust. God created it. Simple as that. These people are some real demons. You don't need to go to an asteroid or fake like you going to an asteroid, allegedly, to get some dust with a broom, put it on some goddamn spaceship, and fly it all the way back to Utah. Get out of Dodge. Where's the real video? Unbelievable. But I just wanted to go over them clips today, you guys. This has been Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 couch detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on evolution and they ain't never been to no asteroid ride. Peace.